about. I even forgot to introduce myself. My name is Waithaka Gatumia. I serve here at this company as the CEO. I'll be facilitator today. I'll also be telling you a little bit about the programs as we go through this session. And I'm very, very, very glad to have you here. We are honored that you have given us your time this Saturday morning, East African time. I know there are some people around the world in different time zones. Wherever you have logged in from, we're so grateful to have you. I just want to give a shout out to Martin Ochieng on Facebook. Thank you so much. Nzisa Macau, thank you so much. Wow, welcome. Dorcas as well in Nyeri, in Karatina in Nyeri. Well done. Good to see you. For all those who have joined, you are welcome, and we're excited to have you this morning. I want to paint a small picture for you so that you understand why we are having this discussion before I invite my first guest onto the screen. I want you to have a look here, and we have a lady who's joining us, and her name is Julie. You see, Julie is thinking about her finances. She's thinking about where she wants to go. She has a future that she wants in mind. And you see, Julie, as she's been listening to Centonomy videos, that's how you landed in this space. When she came onto a Centonomy video, she listened and she was like, wow, I think I get that. I think I've understood what these guys have been talking about. I know that in my life, I want to have some assets. I want to have assets that are going to be putting money in my pocket, whether those assets are like real estate, whether that's cash in a savings account, whether that's government bonds, whether that's cryptocurrency. I know I need assets that will be putting money in my pocket, but I don't know what is the right portfolio of assets that are going to work for me. So Julie is thinking about that, and as she's thinking about it, someone else comes and has a chat with her and talks to her and reminds her, hey, Julie, how is it going on that project about building your home? Oh, so now I need assets. I know I need some income earning assets. I need some savings in an account, but I also want to build my home. I want to live in my own home. And that's a great view that she's saying. So now I'm balancing, I'm building assets, but I also want to build my own home so that we're safe with my family. And I know that that's something that's important to me. And Julie's thinking, which way do I go? Do I take a mortgage and buy? Do I save up and try and build my own place? Do I buy a plot and build? Do I go what people have been saying, off plan? You know, in Kenya and East Africa, this off plan thing where an investment group will come and say, here are the plans. If you give us some money, we will use your money to build and we'll grow together. Which way is it for me? Julie is also thinking at the same time, and she's saying, wow, you know what, as I'm thinking about these things, my home, my assets, what about my children? I'm also thinking, I know in the next 10 years, in the next 5, in the next 15, doesn't matter, however old your children are, they'll be going to university. Which university do I want them to go? And especially in a global discussion like this, you're now beginning to think, you know, is it Ivy League? Is it the top universities in Europe, Oxford and others? Is it in Australia? Where is it that we want to send our kids? So Julie is thinking, oh, so I have to think about assets, I have to think about my home, I have to think about education. But wait, where's the money for this coming? Where are the resources for me to do this? And so Julie is thinking, you know, I only have a limited income, whether it's from my business or it's from my salary that I'm earning. And she's saying, how do I manage this income? How do I manage my salary? How do I manage what I'm working on? And she's saying, wow, so this one income is supposed to help me build assets, supposed to build me a home, get my education. Wow, but you know what? I already took a loan to buy a car. And I'm thinking about mortgages. I'm thinking about, and I have a credit card that I'm using as well. In East Africa, we also have mobile money that we're using as well. So I've got some loans that are there. How do I manage my loans? How do I manage my income so that I'm able to build my assets, my home, my education plan? But you know what? Julie is also thinking, hey, watch this, but I have to live my life today. Hey, look, the kids need to go to school today. It's not just about university. I need to take care of my car, my shopping on a regular basis. Hey, come on. Life is not just about the future. I need to take my family on holiday. This is why we have to have a discussion. Because if we don't find the balance, we can find ourselves doing one thing and missing out on another. And it is possible. And you hear from the testimonials of people who've been through this program. It is possible to find the balance. In the Centonomy 101 program, we are going to be showing you and helping you to put together a 5-year financial plan. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, the principles function the same everywhere. If you're in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, in the Americas, does not matter. How you, these dreams, these ambitions that you have for your life, I know you have so many different things. And the issue is, how do we get from where we are today to the future that we want? And just like Julie on the screen, we want to give you some ideas that are going to help you to get into that space. Now, I'm so excited to invite our first speaker for the day. She's become a great friend of mine. We have never met in person. We have met digitally. She is a brilliant TV anchor, news anchor at NTV-Uganda. She has a wonderful voice. She is an MC. We had a session earlier today for our wonderful people in Uganda. Not today, sorry, earlier this week. And she is the consummate professional. Flavia, I know you're in the room somewhere. So if you can switch on your camera, I'll be able to find you real quick. There you go. Hi, Flavia, how you doing? Wow. Good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I know this week there was something that was itching at your throat. Believe me, I've heard Flavia. You can check out her videos online. She has a beautiful voice. It's just that this week, I don't know why, but something happened that was itching at the throat. I hope you're doing better today, Flavia.
This is the sexiest I have sounded, so everybody brace themselves.
So you've just come through the Centonomy 101 program, and I know you felt like Julie, who I described a moment ago. You have all these things going on around you. Tell us what your experience has been, and I know you have a lot to share with us. Take it away, Flavia.
Thank you so much, Waithaka, for that. On Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you might be watching, and the countries are too many. I know you said Egypt. We also have one of our members in our investment group from the Centonomy class, actually. She's from Egypt. Wow. A lot has happened. First of all, good morning from my end. It's morning. If you see me in a car, it's because I have another activation for a client. Centonomy taught me to make money. So yeah, I'm after this, I'm literally key in and driving out. But I'm excited. Tell yourself this morning to come here for Centonomy 101. Don't do ever anything else. If you don't go back to school, you add nothing to yourself. This the driving force. I knew Centonomy would be life-changing for me. So today I'm excited about the future. You invest for the future. And Waithaka is right. First of all, I had so many dreams. They haven't I didn't know where to start. If you can hear me or see, or if I'm back. So I'll go through it straight. My career started in 2002. We're in 2021, okay? My career started in 2002, okay, guys? And for me, my financial plan is, if I can be honest, my new wave of financial plan is starting after my Centonomy 2. So when it's itself, So forgive me, bear with me. But a lot of people are saying breaking Waithaka, so I'm not sure.
Sometimes it's coming through. I think we can power through. We're picking up the main points as you go through. So just keep going, Flavia.
So should I remove video and audio? But that won't make sense. What should we do?
Just keep trying. I think we'll keep moving as we go.
Okay, but if we get issues, then I'll switch off video so we can at least get.
No problem. Actually, you can try that now. I'll put your picture on the screen. So remove the video and I'll put your picture up on the screen so people know who it is who's talking. Go ahead.
On audio. That is the person I want you to remember me as, guys. Let me know if the voice is much better when I can, then I'll continue.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Guys in the chat, since we're speaking to you guys, let me know if it's much. Oh, fantastic. Kathy Seema, thank you so much for telling me it's much better. So let's go. So yeah, so I'll just probably go back because I don't know how much of it you missed. So I was saying that my career started in 2002. So I'll explain for those who are time. I'm in Uganda. I've done most of my career here. And I am a TV host turned into a news anchor. And I'm also in 2002, I started out as a teenage presenter. And I only got paid, I think, 2005. So I worked, but I only got, it only got monetized in 2005. Now, I was one of those people who, you might be part of this group, who is earning, but haven't yet considered a financial plan because you think, but I've just started working. One, two, there's a lot of time. I've got enough time. I'm just 21. I am just 32. I am just 16. I have time. And at the time when I started to make money, I think I was about 15 years old. I'm 33 today. It's embarrassing that I've started a concrete financial plan at this age. Not that I made so many mistakes that I have nothing to my name, but I'm saying I could have done better for the future I wanted. I could have planned if I really had if Centonomy was there years ago for me, I probably would have been 10 times or 11 times where I am today. So for me, there's so many mistakes I made. One, I figured the larger the paycheck, the larger my life should be. Okay. So I assumed every time somebody added me an extra million or extra hundreds of shillings, I assumed my life should literally expand to fit into those millions. So I would change up where I buy my clothes. I'd change up the car I drive. I'd change up where I live. I'd change up what I spend. So whatever data plan I had on my phone would go up because, hello, I am making money because why not, right? I'm balling Uganda. Then I really I subscribed to that this time because nobody on to me at 20, I need to think what I will be at 30. Because I don't know if it's just been a Ugandan thing, and in the comment section you can tell me, but we have this thing where we say, man, life is short, just eat what you have. You'll make money, you're still young. And so I really subscribe to that, guys. Now, I'll never forget what prompted me to change. I had joined channel. So Judy is saying YOLO. Yes, you only live once. Oh my God, we have that a lot. Judy, say bye to that thing. So in about 2015-ish there, I was working with Channel O, and it was comfortable because I was having a very wonderful paycheck. I was traveling country to country. I was living the life. I was the VJ, and they would accord you flights and then take care of you out. They term us as talent, guys. They call us talent, not your name. Like you have a title, please. You start to live within this bubble. And one day they send us an email and say, guys, unfortunately, we've got to, scale down the business within the continent. This will be your last year. I was like, what do you mean? This has been so nice. It can't be the last year. But you can imagine that up until that email came, for me, I was convinced I'd be on for 10 years. And like in the 8th year, I'd start saving. I was living my life. I was the chick who would fly to whatever country I want for holiday, pay full price on everything. Discount me. I'm not a discount chick. Why are you giving me discounts? Do you know who I am to be giving me discounts? 30% on what? Give it to other people who deserve it. Me, I'll pay full price. So here I am panicking. I said, what am I supposed to do? And then now the intelligence I had to have before I started to have at that point. I went to my boss, who thank God was a friend as well. And I said, listen, I'm in panic. What do you mean it's our last year? And she said, unfortunately, the roles have become redundant. And if you're not proving yourself, they're going to let everybody go. Whoever can prove themselves stays on in a smaller role or whatever role. And I remembered, okay, I'm not so bad. I can write scripts. I can produce shows. I learned some of these things. So outside of being a pretty face on TV, I can do the behind the scenes. So I pitched and I said, can I do this? And I said, yeah, if you can, lead your market, Uganda, and maybe Kenya or wherever, and just write a few scripts here, do this for that. And I said, great. So I was retained. When most of the countries went off, I was retained for that. Of course, it meant less money or less payment, but at least I had something. What I also went ahead and did was that the last year they had given us, I made sure I saved up that entire paycheck. Because listen to this and judge me all you want, because I've changed. I was still earning in Uganda as a radio host, as a voiceover artist, as an MC. So this paycheck that I'm talking about was a side hustle. The biggest paycheck I had was a side hustle. And that explains why I was born, because in my mind, it was a side hustle. Yes. So I went ahead and told myself, save up that paycheck, the big, and live off the smaller paychecks from Uganda for 1 year, just 1 year, that 1 year. And once the contract is changed, use that money to do something. Now, again, I'm taking you through my life because the reason they bring some of us here to speak to you isn't so that we can give you the general terms. Waithaka will give you those. We're brought here so we can share our lives so that you can know that you're not alone, or the things you're about to go into the ditch, you're saved. So what I did is, being a Ugandan was very detached with reality. The things Centonomy 101 told us, don't just buy land for the sake of buying land. Ask questions. Get information. I didn't. Oh, you can't buy land without talking to a lawyer. Again, the corporate bougie in me is thinking, oh my God, lawyer, oh my God. Yes, talk to my lawyer. Stupidity. You're paying a lawyer to give you information you should go get for yourself. Lawyer goes, sees the lands and options, brings me in at the end, has already picked a nice one, okay, that he thinks is my kind of land. It's on the road, beautiful, great location. I show up like a boss. I just need to drop in for 30 minutes. I did that. I dropped in, drove in for 30 minutes, looked at the property. I said, I like it. I'll pay. Come to the bank, sat in the bank, signed. Hey, this corporate, oh my God, a real oh my God. Paid off. Land is moved into my name. Now, the corporate has gone, the oh my God has gone. And now I'm asking questions. Why is there a small kapanya in my land? Or it's a community road, but they can remove it, just fence off the land. I said, okay. Isn't it me fencing off the land? Isn't it stones and pangas coming out for me? Because now the community had wrangles. The gentleman went through this lawyer of mine. They decided to give me land that was unsellable to anyone in the world. Okay. So here I am. I've taken the chunk of money I saved for a whole year, guys. A whole year. It's lucrative land. It's a wonderful neighborhood. Under any other I would be sorted of my lack. Oh, thank you, Labos, for professional guidance. Like I lacked that, and sometimes we complicate things, guys. In your investing, and I think Centonomy will teach you, don't complicate things, guys. You don't need 30 people giving you advice on something. You have the information. Just you have asked those little things that our parents used to ask. Who's the chairman? Who is this? Those are the things, in fact, if anything, you need to ask. Don't feel sorry for me. My story didn't end at that point. Don't feel sorry for me. But it took me maybe 2 or 3 years to recover from that break, because I couldn't imagine that money was gone. But I sat down and told myself, Flavia, like I said, when Centonomy says invest for the future you want, it's not you should have started 30 years ago. Don't feel bad. Start where you are with what you have. So I remember I said to myself, Flavia, give yourself 1 year, January to December. the salaries you have at home. Just kidogo, small, even if it's 200,000 shillings, 500, put it aside, because I had seen a property I wanted to buy and I wanted to put some construction on it. And it was 5 times cheaper than what I had bought. Obviously, the location wasn't the same. It wasn't as lucrative. I get it. In fact, at the time, I was probably the first person who broke ground on that land. But anyway, let me take you back. So I put money aside and I tell myself, December is what you have. If you can put this together, buy this property, and then by January next year, break ground. I got so disciplined, guys, because now, I don't know if there are any Ugandans on here. I'm going to say it in Uganda and then translate it. They say, Manyena kuyo. Know your situation. So I knew my situation. I decided to forego a lot of things that were bougie for me, or I decided to cut out a lifestyle that only benefited the crowd. And I started to look within myself. See, I gave myself up to December. I achieved it by September. I even have the documents. I bought my land.
Wow, Flavia, this is the moment you clap with your icons. Say yes. In how long was that, Flavia?
January to September, I had bought my land. I had bought my
property.
Thank
you.
Wait, don't even, because I know, like, even Waithaka has heard me speak about my journey and some of these things he did. And
what?
I'm saying this to prove to the young ladies, the young men, that listen, don't be beating yourself up. Do whatever you can where you are. September, okay, let me explain in detail. I'll be brief. What I had done are 2 things. I had opened a savings account. And the second thing is that I had gotten one of my best friends called Becky at work. She's much older than me, different assets and all of that. And I told her, I'm going to give you a certain amount of money every end of month. And please, don't, even if I tell you someone has died, don't give it to me. Okay, I told her, even if I say I don't know what, don't give it to me. So that is how I was able to. So my savings account would have brought trouble, because you know how savings account work. If I take my money out, but Becky was my other, savings account. So she took 60% of the money I wanted to save, and the 40% went to the bank. So in September, she even bought me a gift. And she said, I'm so proud of you. We went, I looked at the land myself. I picked the exact point I wanted. I fenced off. I knew every detail myself. So the architect might listen. I was one of those hustlers, wear jeans, canvas, and whatever, go out and do it yourself. But see, December is when I wanted to buy it. Okay. December that I wanted to buy the land is when I was laying the foundation. Me.
Wow.
Wow. My discipline, which I wish I had before, when I was really highly earning, thing for me, and it's wonderful. Today, when I say it accumulates, it's okay. I did something in my discipline. So every time I am pushed to say, I can't do it, I said, listen, look at what you've done before, and this is what you're going to do. So what happened also, because I need to, again, continue with the honesty. Thank you, Rachel, first for saying you're excited for me. Thank you, darling. So what has happened over time is that I had let go of the other land. Remember that land that I'd spoken about? Very lucrative neighbor, which has, by now, it's almost, I don't know, it's way more money than it is, obviously, then. It has appreciated. Do you know what the Centonomy 101 class made me do? And this is a testimony. I got a new lawyer and a fresh team, and we're going to follow up on that land. I must sell it. I must recover it. And I must use that money to redevelop somewhere else. Not, it's okay, it's a loss, leave it. Are you crazy? That is what that intelligence to say, I want to leave money on the table under no circumstances, and I will fight for what's mine. So I've come a long way to where I am. You would think, okay, so you learned your lessons on discipline, you learned all of that. I mean, I've always had 2 jobs at a go. So I've always had 2 streams of income. You'd wonder why in the world I wanted Centonomy 101. The answer is plain and simple. I got married. I had a child. Listen, life is nice when it's just you, okay? But this thing of I want to go to the market and you must tell 3 other people in the house, that you're going to the market is not easy. It means financially, you must have two people come together to make a vision and a dream. My husband had too many dreams, and we realized, oh, we never spoke about this well. Dating, so now we're in trouble, married. So I said, let me get the information for my family. Let me have this financial information so that I don't wreck my family's financial plan, so that I can guide my family on a financial plan. The benefits aren't only for me and my husband, the benefits are for my mother, who thinks she has a whole, I don't know how much of land at the backyard. She can actually plant something and sell. This is for people in my who have got property, and in front of their home they sell cans of milk, and they're saying we are poor. How are you poor? You're not paying rent, you own the place. Instead of you selling the cans, give this space to other people so that they can give you rent, and then they make money. So that information on Centonomy wasn't just for me. It became for my entire family. So after Centonomy 101, I've learned this whole thing of starting where you are. Because now, after I graduated with Centonomy, I refuse to do that whole group thing, guys. Let me tell you, Waithaka is going to kill me for this. They told us to join a group and do an investment plan. You know how in the WhatsApp group, people are sleeping. Nobody wants to reply. This one replies. This one says I'll be there. So the Ugandan group decided to do their own investment club. Many people veered off. So yesterday, the lady reaches out and says, Flavia, we're dissolving the group and only maintaining those who want to do it. I said, okay. Said it's 125,000 shillings per month. We're going to buy a car, do Uber, make money, and the money will make money to buy another car. It sounded like, but then I said, Flavia, this is another stream of income. Why are you acting fresh? Do it. It's 125,000. You would have gone and drank tea and a pizza. Do it.
Yeah.
And so that is what Centonomy 101 does. It awakens you to sort of say, should I be doing that? I could be doing this. Okay, so start where you are and with what you have. I've also learned to not be redundant where I am. So the jobs that have been giving me a paycheck, but it's not growth, because also you have to ask yourself, am I growing? So don't just be, because I like to do radio, I like. Could you be using that time to make 10 times that money, 3 times that money, 2 times that money? Then please grow, walk away and grow. And that's what I've been questioning myself. Partnerships. Oh my God, I've understood partnerships. I'm going to speak before I wrap to the team of people who believe they're not business savvy. I cannot start my business from ground up. That's me. I can't. I can't sit there and watch my business every day. However, I know my strength. I'm a communicator. I help brands. If somebody has started something, I can help them. I can guide. And guess who I am starting to be? My other stream of income will be partnerships. I'm going to say, listen, so and so, you have your IDs business, you do IDs, but can I help you make this better? Equity or some sort of partnership, let's do it. So I'm going to be a business person, but in a different way. Not in the way everybody knows, sit at your kiosk from Monday to Monday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But that's all because Centonomy 101 opened up my mind to know that, Flavia, you have had all the resources. You just were not using them. So guys, start where you are. Please, in investing for your future, the future that you want, first of all, define what that future looks like, okay? First of all, doesn't involve my husband. The first future I want is for myself. Yes, be selfish and say, for me as Flavia, I want a wonderful house. I want this comfort. I need to maintain a house manager because at 65, I will not be doing ABCD. It's nothing, but you need to put that money aside. I need to have a comfortable car. I need to have property that does Flavia. Then it would be nice if my family has A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then who's my dependents? Is it my mother, my grandmother, my aunties, a cousin I'm paying fees for? Consider, then if it's my child, education. What do I want for them? My son got gifts from aunties and uncles when he was born. We immediately put all of that money into a Britam account for him because it wasn't our money. But now what it has also done is pushed us, because now the account can't be plain and redundant. We have to put money there every other month. Okay. So things like that, you put them in place. That's the future I want. After I defined it, I'm now working towards it. Okay. It's those partnerships I'm going to do. It's those savings accounts I'm opening. It's those investment groups I am joining. It's all of that saving I am doing, the discipline I am doing. Okay, it's that exposing myself to different fields so that I can make more money to make sure I work towards it. How long have I given myself? I used to say 40, but I've said no, let's do 10 years. At 43, we will be back here. I'm telling you right now. At 43, I'll be back here. And I will be retired, my friends. And I'm telling you this, mark my words. By that time, we shall be back here. So, guys, it's important to have more than one stream of income. That's the first thing I'll tell you. More than one stream of income. The second thing, please, more money should not mean more spend. Weren't you living off that one paycheck? Weren't you surviving? What that the second paycheck should go to a bigger lifestyle? We're not saying squeeze your life. Don't drink the coffee you want. Don't go to you want. But must you eat the entire paycheck? Why don't you get a percentage and say, this is my addition I've been giving myself. Let me give myself a 10% increase versus a 100% increase. Aki, why? Okay, so more spend. And then time flies. Use that information how you wrap up. Time flies can be a good thing. When people say time flies, be the person who says, I have 10 years, but time flies versus time flies, so let me take my time, let me do what I want. Time flies, so save up, because what you think is going to be 10 years and sound so bad, the 1 year will go by quickly and another year will go by quickly. Before you know it, you're 3 years into your investment plan and you're excited for the next couple of years. So time is that how you want. Guys, I hope I've been impactful. It's been amazing being here. Thank you so much for
put on your camera before you go. Put it on. People are tired of seeing a picture. They want to see you for real. What? Are you serious, Flavia? I mean, don't shock a guy like this. I know we've been talking about this for some time. We've been sharing about it, and the fact that you took that moment, what? Flavia, if you don't mind, if you can, where are you? Your video is gone back off. I want to see you.
I removed it. Yeah.
Put it back on. Because now we want to see you before you disappear, because I can see you going into that next meeting that I love the hustle that's there, and you should see all the comments that are coming through. Everyone is just saying,
oh my word, thank you guys, bless you.
Look at that. Everyone is just saying impactful. That actually changed the thinking. And I'm so grateful that you're doing this from your car as you go to another job, that you've taken your time to come and share that. Wow. And I hope everyone was listening. It's not just for the ladies in the room. I know I gave an example of a lady before this session, but it's about purposeful living, purposeful life, that you're saying, hey, these are the things that I want, and therefore I'm going to live like this. I want to be able to, when I want to go and grab a coffee, I'm going to do it. But as I'm grabbing that coffee, I'm also not killing the dream of the house that I wanted to build, that now you're already on the road and moving. I don't want to kill the plan for my children who I wanted to go to university. I want to make sure, I love that you're saying when I'm retired, I don't want to do all the work. So I need to have cash. I need to have income that's going to take care of me when I'm retired. And that's what we're talking about today. Flavia, you can see hey guys, come on. When you see, if we were in a room, everyone would be on their feet clapping. I know. Come on YouTube, put in that comment that you want to say. On Facebook, put in that comment for Flavia and the amazing job that she's done this morning. We are so grateful for your time. One of the comments that really stuck out to me, Flavia, if you don't mind, was your honesty. The fact that you didn't hide the mistake, but you said, now this is what I'm doing to move forward. One last word from you. Encourage somebody before you leave.
Okay, so For me, days ago was speaking with Waithaka. Am I clear or should I still remove the video?
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
And I know I spoke about celebrities or people who are, you know, in the face and how we make the most mistakes. But this is
Well, Flavia, switch off the
anybody, because I know when I shared about
say that again, Flavia. There we go. So you're saying this is for?
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
So this is what I'm going to say. Be honest with yourselves, guys. If I had been honest with myself from the get-go when I started to earn, let me tell you right now, I would have fulfilled all my purpose. The schools I want to build for young girls, the mentorship programs I want to start, all of the things that my heart desires to do for my purpose on earth, because I know I'm a believer. God wanted me to go through it so that somebody on this Zoom today or YouTube, wherever they are, so they can know that their mistakes are valid. Then they can start from there. So I know I made my mistakes for you, for me, for anybody else. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Be honest with yourself. For me, I used to feel like I was a hero. I would be the one who would fix everyone's problem. Because my mother would say, I'm a single mom, it's only you that I have. So if my sister is not well, it's you I can tell. But when you tell me, I feel like I need to fix it. So before you know it, I was paying for people's tuition before I got to university. I didn't know what a tuition payslip looks like, but I was paying it. Did I have the money? No. I was sacrificing. But I can't afford this. I don't want to break myself for another person. But because I had that hero mentality where you feel like, people will do well for me or God will bless me. God wants to bless you when you're wise. Please, God doesn't want to bless fools. Okay? So don't be. Okay? That whole thing of I'll give you the clothes off my back, God does not approve that. Please stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. God does not approve that the last cent you have, give it away. Because then you're going to come back to God and ask for that cent. And God says, but I gave you. You gave it away. I had a plan for the next person. I had a plan for your brother. I gave you the plan and you gave it to somebody else. I'm telling you this because let me tell you, I went through it. Don't be the hero. You have your 1 million shillings that you're earning. After your rent, your savings, your everything, if you're left with 150,000 shillings, that's where your charity is from. Charity is starting from that one, okay? Not from your 1 million. Please save yourself. And then when they call you for the big parties you shouldn't be attending, you have no business attending, and then you're buying outfits every weekend. I can't be seen with the same pair of shoes. So if they can afford to buy it for you, please, may they never see you in another one again. Okay? Yeah. Be honest with yourself and be true to yourself and say, Flavia, this is what I can afford. For me, I shall comb my hair myself and style it myself and learn from YouTube because a stylist every weekend is expensive. Yes. I'll tell you from my circles, people will ask you, who did your makeup? And you want to name drop Mona faces, you who. But there's somebody out there, Eka Flavia, who can do it for like, I don't know, half the price and make you look nice. Be honest, friend. Take that person. Don't fear about name dropping. People will eventually say, but Flavia is nice. Maybe we should, take her option. What do you like to drink? But they'll feel bad if I don't say champagne. Are they the ones drinking it? Yeah. Please, I want tea. Spiced properly, even with cookies on the side. Don't be afraid. Be yourself. If there's anything I leave you with, be yourself.
Wow. Flavia, you are simply amazing. I hope you've seen all the comments that have come through. That honesty is what we need. And as I started this session, I said, you need to have a plan for the future that you want. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, everybody has a plan for your money. Can we give it up for Flavia before she takes off? As you saw, she was going for the next job. And everyone who's coming in to speak today, they're moving. On a Saturday, they're busy making money. Well done to everyone who's done that. I'm just so excited and so grateful for your time that you're able to help us. with your insights, Flavia. I appreciate you. May God bless you as you go. Look at all the comments that are coming through just for you. Remember this, everybody has a plan for your money. Do you have a plan for your own money? Your relatives have a plan. We at Centonomy have a plan. That's why we're inviting you here. Your bank has a plan. Investments have. If you don't come from the perspective of what you want to do, then you go and approach those people who are going to assist you on that journey. That's what we want you to be able to achieve. So thank you so much, Flavia, for the time that you shared with us. God bless you as you go into that next session that you're doing. I know you're going to do great. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Flavia. Today, our theme for the day is investing for the future that you want. We've got a couple of other amazing speakers coming up shortly. And it's all about Centonomy 101, which we told you about. This is a program where you learn about your personal financial management and investment so that you can build the future that you want. These are the modules that you go through. You learn about personal money management. You learn about time value of money, which is how do you plan for the future? How do I know what my children's education will cost? How do I know what my retirement will cost me? We use this to do that. We do debt management as well. We talk about how do you get out of bad debt and how do you use debt to grow? When I say debt, I mean loans. How do you get out of those bad mobile loans, credit cards? How do you then use debt for growth? Because debt is a tool that you can use, let's say, to finance your assets. Then we get into the investment classes. You have to have a plan before now you understand the investment classes. We learn about treasury bills and bonds and unit trusts. What are they and how do they work for me? We learn about investment in property, real estate, buying land and selling it. Buying properties for rent. What do? We learn about stocks. How do we learn how to invest in the stock exchange? How do you buy shares? How do you know which is a good share and which one is not? All these factors together come in, and these are all taught by industry experts, people who do this on a regular basis, so that when you're putting together your plan, like what Flavia was talking about, you're doing so with knowledge. And the final part of the program is your protection classes. How does insurance work? How does estate planning work? I need to know how to organize my wealth. And how do I deal with tax? Because tax is something that we all deal with. After that, we have what we call My Financial Plan. You will put together a 5-year financial plan that is incorporating all those things that you're talking about. This class starts on the 1st of June, so you have a couple of days to get there. You can register today for only 500 Kenya shillings. That's about $5 US. If you're outside of Kenya, it's $5 that you can be able to register with. It starts on the 1st of June, and you only come for one class per week. One class per week. That class is offered on 4 different days. On Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday in the evening in East African time. That's 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. East African time. Or Saturday morning, like now, from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. East African time. So you pick one of those classes and you come every Tuesday for 12 weeks. Every Tuesday or every Wednesday or every Thursday. But here's a good thing. If your class is on Tuesday and for some reason you were busy, something happened, you couldn't make it to class, you are more than welcome to come in on the Wednesday or Thursday. We've made it this way to be as easy for you to continue and to learn and to grow in it so that you never miss out on a class during the period that's there. The registration is only 500 Kenya shillings. That's $5 US if you're outside of Kenya. And all you need to do is pay that today. It's usually 1,500 shillings, usually $15, but you've got a special discount. So I want you to register today. And the rest of the fees can be paid in monthly installments. You can see the installment plan there. It's about $145, about $145 for the first 2 installments every month, and then $100 for the last month. In Kenya shillings, you can see it on the screen. Those in Kenya, we use M-Pesa, right? Our mobile money, you can do that registration. Do it right now. 500 shillings. The pay bill number is 986850. Let's do it quickly. 986850. Just type in your name as the account, and after your name, just write 101. It's 101 for Centonomy 101. Once you've registered, our team will reach out to you and they'll give you all the details about which class you're coming for, when you're expected to be here, when you'll receive the materials, because we send you the materials. I'm going to be showing you some of those materials as we go forward. I want you to register today, just like Flavia did, and made that choice so that she can be able to grow, and you can see the effect of it. Now there's a full spectrum for her on what she's going to do. 986850. And for those who are outside of Kenya, we use the bank details that are there. So the registration is only $5 US. $5, you can be able to put it through that. The details that are there, you can take a screenshot, use your phone, and just make sure that you can see the details that are there. And just send in that $5 today, because it's a special for our open day. It's our open day special. It's only $500 to, hey, 500 shillings, not dollars, 500 shillings, $5. An open day special, usually it's 1,500 shillings or $15. You've got a discount today. Hey, we need to make some money together. Wow, wow, wow. My brother is coming up to speak next, Mr. Michael Gitonga. He's been a mentor in my life. He's an amazing TV host. He's an entrepreneur. I'm sure some of you don't even know that, but he does. He has amazing businesses that he's running at the same time. Mike, I hope you're somewhere in the room. I know I saw you somewhere. There you are. Great.
Yes,
How
I'm around. I'm around.
You can put on your video now, so that I can give you a wonderful spotlight as we move forward. Wow, wow, wow. Mike, even you're on the road. Hey, what's happening with all you guys?
Well, Saturday happens to be a day where we do other things. I am definitely on the road. I'm not sure if I'm making money, but I'm doing what I love to do, which is part of what we need to learn in life, basically.
Yeah. Wow, Mike. I don't know if you're on the move at the same time, because what we're noticing is there's a bit breaking up a little bit.
Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on, but your audio was breaking up a little bit, so we might try what we did with Flavia.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
The video off.
Just hold on a second. Let's see if it works now. I want to see if we can get you straight up there. Great. Now you can give it a try. Give it a try, Mike.
Yes, as I was saying, yes, I'm definitely on the move, doing what I love to do, which is, I think, part of a huge plan of life. Many of us literally, spend a lot of time investing and working. In life, we need to literally just sit back and enjoy the some things in life. But I'm sure that's not what I'm here to talk about. But kindly excuse my attire. It just happens to be a Saturday, and I thought that still we'll have the meeting, but I'll get into the vehicle as everybody else is riding. I don't know if I can show you this like that. I don't know. I can't turn the screen, and I've shown you the rest of the team. They're out there cycling, but yeah, that's why. Excuse the attire.
We're okay. We don't mind.
Great stuff.
So take it away, Mike. Tell us your experience and some points on investing for the life that you want. I know you've been doing that for the future that you want.
Okay. Yes, what I'd like to talk about, Waithaka, or to handle, or to just share my experience, is literally the life that you want, but having a target, having an end game or end goal in mind. Because I think many of us, pretty much, I don't know whether it's out of our bringing, out of our socialization and all that, we kind of just waddle along and hope things will fall into place at some point. But I've learned over time that a picture in your mind is something that you need to have, because if you don't have that, then any destination, they say that if you don't have a destination in mind, any road can take you there. So from experience, I've learned that having idea of exactly what you. So allow me to mention that God has given us our minds and our brains to imagine. Imagination is absolutely free. Nobody charges you for imagination. Nobody charges you to just dream. Nobody charges you to, think of what you'd want to have in life. And once you have that at the end, then you can work backwards and decide, okay, fine. What I would want to do, what is it that makes you, what is it that would make you feel, what's your definition of success in short? I know that what they say, the Kenyan dream is what? Living in you drive a 4x4, you have 2 children, and you have a 3-bedroom house or something like that. If that is your dream, that's fine. Dream it. Then once you've dreamt it, begin to actualize and put markers and like a timeline as to how you're going to get there, because without that end goal, then really you're just walking through life. So yeah, having an end goal is something that works. And then once you've done that, which is why, for instance, now for me, I enjoy my cycling, I enjoy my exercise, I enjoy doing that. So Saturdays for me, that's what I do, which is why I thought, okay, fine, I'll still appear as your guest, because I owe you many favors. Waithaka, just for the records, has been one of my most reliable guests on TV, and I do not pay him a penny for it. He just does this out of a passion. So I thought, hey, one good deed deserves another. And this is also now networking. I mean, at the end of the day, they say that your network is your net worth, and it's a fact. Network, by the way, is not something that you can even quantify in terms of money. Network is something that you look at and you build it over time. And once you've got there, then it gives you that ability, that leverage to do what you need to do. So end goal is what we're talking about here. And once you have that end goal in mind, and it is something that you're working towards, it helps you now achieve, because then you put milestones. Just like a child, when a child is born, they give you, I'm sure, Waithaka, you have children, and there's this card they give you, it's called a milestone card, where a child at a certain age needs, at a certain age needs to have acquired, for instance, I think from 9 months to about 1 year, they should be walking. At a certain point, they should be sitting at a certain point. So if they don't achieve those milestones, you can tell that either that child is what they call a late bloomer, or there's something wrong that maybe needs medical attention. So we need one of those in our lives, where you can say, okay, if I want to own a house, I don't know, Muthaiga North or Karen or wherever, how am I getting there? So that I began, if it means saving, I begin saving. If it means that I begin putting money aside, those let me share a lesson that, and he said, do an exercise where penny that you spend.
Yeah. And
I said, okay, I'll do this for the next 3 days. I was amazed. Waithaka, I was mesmerized, flabbergasted, astounded. I could use all the vocabulary. Why?
Michael,
because
say that
at
again.
The end of that week,
broke up a little bit.
7,000 was a coffee here.
Stop, Mike. Wait 1 second. You broke up a little bit. Tell them again. Okay. Where did this start? We were where? And I told you what? Mm-hmm.
We were in a studio having your usual morning show where I've invited Waithaka to just talk to the world. In fact, talk to the other people, not me. But he kind of personalized it and said, Mike, what I want you to do is take a pen and paper from today and write down your expenses one by one, regardless of what that expense is. Even if you spend 50 bob or 60 bob to buy a newspaper costs 60 shilling. If you buy that newspaper, write down that amount. And that week, I decided I will faithfully do it just for the heck of it. And 7,000 shillings is what I had spent. Now, this 7,000 is not money I had budgeted. It's not money I had thought I'm going to use, but it worked out to 7,000 shillings. Now, when I thought about it, 7,000 shillings is a lot of money. It can do a lot of stuff. So in short, once you have the end goal that you've set up and you're now visualizing it, you have it. Imagination is such a powerful thing. And let me credit the women in this case, because I'll give you an example. Anytime we're going on a holiday, we have two ways I've noticed in our house that we operate. For me, I begin to get stressed out because one, where are we going? How much is it going to cost? How are we going to get there? Are we flying? Are we walking? Are we, cycling? Joyce, on the other hand, who's my wife, my beloved wife, begins to live. She begins to enjoy the holiday before it has even begun. She uses the power of imagination. And this is what I want us to learn from here, that imagination is a very, very powerful tool. Begin to enjoy things that you may not have when you visualize them, when you write them down. No. You visualize, think what you want it to be, then you begin to enjoy that journey, because every time you've put, say, an amount towards that house that you want to buy, it's exciting to know that it is there. It's exciting to know that it's working towards that. So yeah, end goal is what I talk about. Have a dream, and let it know if your vision, some of us of course call it vision. If your vision doesn't scare you, then maybe it's not big enough. Let it be something that is totally impossible. Maybe your background dictates to you that you should live in a certain area. Get out of that place and think of a bigger place, a place where you think it's meant for, the elite or whatever. Be the elite that you're going to, free your people. But becoming that elite is not something that happens by chance. It's a plan. They say failing to plan is planning to fail. So it's a plan that you put in place. I recommend, I would emphasize, write it down, because that keeps it in place. Then break it down to small little bits and pieces which you achieve towards the time. Of course, it needs to be measurable. It needs to have a time frame. It needs to, you need to be accountable to somebody. Yeah, so generally that's what I would say like that.
Wow, Mike. And in your own life, in your own experience, I'm sure there's some things that you have done, like you had a vision, you had a dream, you had a direction that you were heading. Give us an example where you set a goal and you've managed to get there this far.
All right, I'll just use the same example of what was a dream for me.
Yeah.
From when I was growing up, Karen was, I loved the place with all my heart. And there are several reasons why I loved Karen. One of them being the fact that you felt like you're in Ushago, but you're in town. You have access. You have access to town. Then I had an uncle who used to serve tea. What they would tease us and tell us is Karen tea. I loved it. I just fell in love with the place. The other thing that made me love Karen was horses. There was access to, horse riding and all that. And for some reason, it just happened to be something that I loved. So right when I was in high school, it became a target, a dream for me to do that. Now, here's the thing, Waithaka. When you have a target and you have a dream, your brain begins to work towards it without even you knowing. It begins to connect the dots despite how impossible it looks. This is a young man who was in Nairobi school, had nothing. I have not inherited anything from my parents. God bless them. I love them. They were fantastic. But in terms of wealth, there was nothing to inherit, so to speak. But I had a dream. And my dream was very clear. I had a specific, it was measurable, where I want to live, the kind of house I would want to live in, and why I wanted to live there. So I began to think towards that. Now, what happened is that when an opportunity came for a piece of land in Karen, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the ability. In fact, at that point, I think I thought I was going crazy. But because I had a target, because I had already thought about it, because I had already dreamt about it, I began to ask myself, how do I work towards this? Fine. There were financial options open. I looked at them. My parents were from the school of thought that borrowing is almost something you never ever touch. So borrowing was not an option for me. So what did I have? At that point in time, thank God I'd already invested in a few things here and there. I had a truck, what's it called, a canter, which I, at that time, sold to get a deposit. And it was not a deposit to buy the piece of land. It was a deposit to convince the person who was making this transaction that at least I have something. I don't want to just say I'm serious. I want to buy a piece of land without, some evidence. So I went with my little money and told him, this is my commitment fee of saying I want to buy it. I'm not saying this is a deposit. It's nowhere close to a deposit. But it opened up a door for me. Fast forward, because I don't know how much time we have. I read a meme the other day that said, stop dreaming your life and live your dream. And I was seated somewhere and it suddenly hit me, wait, I am actually living my dream. And I thank God for that.
Wow, wow, wow. And after that, Mike, I mean, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. That it's, I love that you brought it in. In fact, on the screen, let me put it back so that you see what we were discussing as you came on board about Julie, because you see, Julie, who's our person who we are talking about today, had multiple things that she's looking at, and you said a home was one of those things that was important, and it's putting together a plan for that. But at the same time, I know, Mike, you are building a business, isn't it? At the same time,
Correct.
you are building a career.
Yes.
So it was about finding that balance, and you're not saying one thing has to be done at a time. You're able to multitask and do these kind of things. Talk a little bit now about how, a little bit about what it meant for you to start your own business, for instance.
All right, so looking at the dream, and remember I said that your vision needs to scare you. It needs to be a bit something that's beyond what you can imagine. I looked at the income that I had at that time, and it was not feasible for me to achieve that dream based on a salary. And here's the thing, I have nothing against a salary. I don't have any qualms about it, but it has several limitations. One of them being, it's your boss who determines when you're ever going to have an increase. It's your boss who determines whether you have that job or not. So it occurred to me quite early that a salary was not enough. And I needed to build now what I think the previous guest was talking about, multiple streams of income. So for me, I thought, okay, I have a lot of time. I have time in my hands, because that's an asset that I have at that time. I have energy. I have, I was younger, let me say. I'm still young, I think. I would like to believe. But I was younger. And those were things that were working for me. So what can I do with the time that I have? What can I do with the energy that I have? So I decided I have talents in several areas. One of them being public speaking. What can I do with that? Another being a passion that I had, photography and videography. What can I do with that? So with time, it occurred to me that, wait, I don't have to do this, give these services out for free. I can exchange that time for something. And that something can either be money or it can be something different. And this time, let's talk about money. So with that, I began to build a business, G Media Limited, which is still running till now. But I thank God also I had friends who helped me realize that you need to have what you call passive income. And passive income is something that does not require me physically to be there for it to continue. And with that, initially when I started the business, I was doing everything. I was the IT expert. I was the CEO. I was the cameraman. I was everything.
Tell me about it. I know that story.
Yes, but it soon came to me that for that business to be successful and to give me and generate more than I can generate when I'm physically there, build structures in place that are able to run the business so that even when I'm not there, for instance, now I'm cycling, but I have a team of, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I have like 3 different teams that are out there working.
Wow.
So I'm still able to get my income, do what I love, but I didn't start cycling from day one. Day one, I had to be everywhere there was a function. So in terms of building the business, yes, start it off, but remember to have structures that ensure you're not just a businessman, but you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And there's a difference between being an entrepreneur and being self-employed and being a businessman. Being self-employed just means you run the business and you're the boss.
Yeah.
But when you're an entrepreneur, you literally can sit back. I mean, I used to ask myself, another motivation, Waithaka, is how is it that on a Wednesday at 11 o'clock, you go to Karen Country Club, there are people playing golf the whole day. How do those guys survive? How are they making their money? I mean, how is it that they have to eat at the end of the day? And it comes to the networking aspect of it, where you network with them and you realize that they're running businesses such that as they're swinging that golf club, there is still money being made somewhere.
Mike, that's what we're talking about today. And that's why I invited you, because I know I wanted people to hear and to see how active your life is, that you're not just one thing. People see you on TV and they think this is all that Mike does, but no, out there, you have dreams, you have ambitions, you have things that you're working towards. I know your kids are this close to college. I know how close they are, the men who have come in,
yes.
even for some of the Centonomy programs that you sent them for. And it's, I mean, that's the kind of life that we're talking about. It's that balance. So you can replace Mike there in the center of the screen and say, Mike is looking at building his assets. He's looking at that home, which he talked about in Karen. He's looking at the education plan for his kids. He's looking at thinking about life today. You know, look at that. You have a family. You need to ride on a Saturday morning. Mike, I know you're managing debt as well. I know there are some loans still outstanding somewhere. I'm pretty sure. And at the same time, you're building your business and building your career at the same time. So the thing is to find that balance. Right. And I love that we found you, Mike, on a Saturday, going out and doing something that's just fun. This is not something you're earning from on your riding. This is something that you enjoy. So right. Mike, I want you to give people one last item of wisdom. If you can try and switch on your mic, your camera, so people see the last few seconds. Hopefully it works this time round.
Yes, at least we've stopped. So here I am.
There we go. 1 second, yes, let me put you up on the screen there.
Okay. So my parting shot, Waithaka, would be plan. No. Sorry, let me take two. Catch, that's what we do in studio. Take two. plan. But at the end of the day, there is what we call delayed gratification. I know it's not a very popular term because we want something and we want it here and we want it now. But trust me that it pays off to wait for the right time. Then at the right time, you can, doesn't mean that now, Waithaka, I'm living in the house that I dreamt about those days, that my dreams have stopped. I am still dreaming. And like you've said, I have two boys who are going to be demanding a lot in terms of going to college. But for me, that's not the end. Once they go to college, by the way, I have a huge plan. I want to do a trip around the world, and I'm going to do it.
Wow.
Not because I have the money right now, not because I know where it's going to come from, but I have a target, I have a dream, I have something I'm working towards. So that every morning when I wake up, I ask myself, where am I on my around the world trip in terms of preparing for it? It could be preparing in terms of, getting another multiple stream of income. And listen, it's multiple. So it's not just the business. It's not just the media, the TV show working for a TV station that I do. There's also real estate, which I've invested in. And those are multiple streams which are working towards a goal. Once their education is done, once that is done, what else do I want to do? There's so many things I want to do. One of them currently is an equestrian. He's getting into professional horse riding. And I'm right there behind him. He doesn't go horse riding alone. I go with him. The other one wants to go into culinary. We cook together. So those are the things that we're talking about. They're dreams which come and we work towards them. But in terms of investments, open up your mind. Imagine. Then begin to execute. Once that imagination is there, write them down. Draw a plan. What do they call? Vision board. Do a vision board and look at the end goal. What is it that I'm dreaming about? Begin to get excited. Then begin to invest towards that. And I guarantee you, you will enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed, man. It's not meant to be a tingumu sana. I know we're in Corona times and it's tough, but even in those tough times, we have to see light at the end of the tunnel.
Mike, that's why I invited you here, because you always make me smile. You always make me know that there's life in this place. On TV, when you became an anchor on TV, you became too serious. It became politics and other things. I wanted people to see you, the real you, and thank you for bringing it here today. Thank you for being so honest. Guys, come on, let's give him a hand. Everybody on Zoom, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube as well. Just say thanks to Mike for the amazing job that he has done in terms of sharing his experience. Hey, Mike, we are coming to Karen. We are coming to Karen, and horse riding shall be part of the...
Kujeni. Huh? Yes, anybody who likes cycling, please slide into my DM. I'll let you know how we cycle, how we ride horses. We do all manner of things. I ride bikes as well. Any life is just too good, but it's out of a plan. Thank you.
That's it. That you had a plan, that you wanted to go. Please go and ride. Be careful as well. Keep your eyes out. You know how the Kenyan roads are. But I'm so grateful, Mike. I really appreciate that you came and shared so honestly, so clearly, so everyone can see multiple streams of income. And that's what we were talking about earlier today. And we're just saying, hey, we need now to begin to say and to talk clearly about what the examples are going to be. We need to have clarity on the way that we're moving forward. And so that's what the Centonomy 101 program is all about. We are now talking about having that sense of, I know how I'm going to manage my money. I've got that sense. And that's where we talk about the personal management, time value of money. How do I plan for the future? Debt management. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. And then living abundantly. What does living abundantly do for us? It helps us to that dream that Mike is talking about. We have a session with a life coach who's going to help you to actually write down and organize that dream that you're looking for. Then we get into the investment classes, as I said, and the protection classes that end up with module 11 there at the bottom. I hope you can see it right there, where you're saying my financial plan, that you come up with a 5-year financial plan that gives you direction, the clarity that Flavia spoke with, the clarity that Michael was speaking about just now. That's what you're going to get. So we want you to register today. There's a discount on registration. The classes start on the 1st of June, that first week of June. So this is a great time to be getting involved. Do register right now. We still have a couple of great speakers coming up, so don't go away. There's obviously, and this is what makes this a great time to be registering, is we recognize during COVID-19, this is a tough time. So on all our classes, we do have a discount, which is a lockdown discount, and that you're able right now to get it at that 10% off. But not only do you get 10% off your fee, you also get, because you showed up today for the open day, you're getting 1,000 shillings off your registration. You only register with 500 shillings, which is $5 today. Once you register, we'll have your details and we'll be able to send you all the information that you need. You can register on M-Pesa. M-Pesa, that's 986850. And once you've made that payment, we have your details. We'll be able to call you and give you the details as you're going. For those who are outside the country, I'll encourage you to use the bank details that are there. But for those outside the country, also go to www.centonomy.com. I'll ask my team to write that in all the various platforms that we're on, YouTube, Facebook, here on Zoom, so that on the website, there's a register button that you can register, and we'll have your details and reach out to you with all the details that you have. The information that we're going to be sending to you, all that stuff is going to be there for you. So I encourage you right now, make that registration so that we can reach out to you, get the benefit of 1,000 shillings off. Can you imagine what you can do with 1,000 shillings? About $10. That's not small money. So you're having that off right now, and I encourage you to make that registration. Thank you so much, Mike. You can see all the things that are going through right now. Just hold on one second. I'm seeing a comment. Patricia, make the registration as you can go, and we'll be able to help you out. I can see some people are going on. We'll be able to help you. Just, I have some team members who are in the room. If you see anyone with a Centonomy name, just directly message them and ask them those questions about, if I register by end of day or maybe by tomorrow, will I get that opportunity? So you have an opportunity to do that just now. So my encouragement to you is, we want you to get this information in your hands immediately, that you'll be able to grow and to be able to build from that perspective. I want to give you some example of the kind of learning that you get it's practical learning. It's so that you're able to make decisions around what you're doing with your life. You're able to make decisions on, should I take that loan? Should I borrow for this? Should I do that? That's what we're talking about here. I want to get it up on the screen so that you can see. Information is power. What we wanted to tell you guys Give me 1 second. Sometimes doing multiple things at the same time, you can get a bit lost. Look at that. This is somebody who's buying a Toyota here in Kenya, and excuse the dollar sign, that's Kenya shillings. We're using Kenya shillings right now. I want to make it nice and clear. I'm just checking on my screen so that I know you're able to see clearly. Once I've done, good. So you borrow, let's say 1.5 million to buy that car that you're doing, and you get it at locally maybe at about, let's say 13% even, and you get it for 5 years, okay, here in Kenya. What we don't realize is that per month, you'll be spending, let me get that up there, per month, you'll be spending about 34,000 shillings every month for 60 months. And after that, what does that mean? You'll be paying interest, and this is interest alone of 500,000 shillings, 547,000 shillings. That's interest alone. So for this car that you bought 1.5 million, you're actually going to be paying 2 million, just over 2 million for that car when it was new. So when you bought it, it was worth 1.5, but you paid 2 million. 5 years later, when you own that car now is worth less than that 1.5. So when you understand that, then you make some decisions around which car do I want to buy, because we want you to buy that car. Because sometimes that amount of interest could be a plot that you are going to buy. It could be another investment that you wanted to make. It could be putting money in your pocket. When you understand this, then you're able to make some choices. I'll give you an example, for instance, of a mortgage. I can see some people around Kenya who are thinking about, you know what, if I want to buy that house, if I go for a mortgage, let's say it's a 10 million house, okay? Did I get that right? Yes, 10 million, and you'll be offered the mortgage maybe about 13% and over 20 years. So now you can be able to see, you'll be paying about 117,000, which is probably double the rent you'd have been paying in a similar house. And you'll be paying interest alone of about 18 million shillings. So when you see that and you say over 18 years, over 20 years, what if I made a different choice and I said, what if I built slowly over that period of time? Could I be investing elsewhere? For some other people who are high income earners, this gives you an opportunity by using the mortgage facility. It gives you an opportunity to be stress-free. You're living in the house that you want. And because you have such a high income, you're able to cover that cost as you invest elsewhere. Because what we're talking about here in Centonomy is the balance. One of the issues that we're facing is so many people are busy right now, let's say focusing on building a house, for example, and the home has become the central thing. But as I showed you with Julie's example, the home is just one of the goals that you have. You also want to be building assets so that when you're living in your home, you have money that you're earning from all these assets, like Mike was talking about, like Flavia was talking about. There's a business that is paying you some income. There's some rental properties that are paying you some income. You want to have assets that are taking care of you in your own home, even while your children are going to university. So I can hear you guys just saying, but how do we do all these things at the same time? It's a balance issue. When you have the knowledge, you can make choices. So on this end, when we talk about your salary and your income, whether it's from your business or from your job, how do you manage it? You heard Mike talking about this, and I tell everybody when they come into the room, I told Mike, just track your expenses for a couple of weeks. And in 3 days, he had begun to see the money that he was spending. He didn't know that he was spending that amount. And when he knew about it, he could use it differently for the assets that he's looking for that riding lifestyle that he wants, for that equestrian lifestyle that he's looking for. He could use some of that cash to pay off his loans. And some of that cash is what he talked about, taking his family on holidays for the monthly costs that are there, living your life today. So at Centonomy, it's all about this balance. That's why we want you to join the Centonomy 101 program. It's going to change your life. Up next, we've got an amazing speaker. Ibrahim, I don't know if I can get you up. Senyonga, I know I saw you somewhere in the room. Let's see if I can get you. Ibrahim, are you there? Whoops. I'm just waiting to see if I can get Ibrahim. He's in the room. If he's not, I wanted to take you through that just one more time so that you understand how it's going to work. All right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that, team. as we try and get Ibrahim back into the room, you know, all these various things, all these various locations that we're having people from, it's quite an effort to get everybody in. Like now you had Flavia was all the way going for a job. She's on the road somewhere in Kampala. Michael is on the road somewhere here in Nairobi. It's quite something else. And that's what we're talking about. Jacqueline, we have a couple of team members who are in the room. I can see some questions here on Zoom. If you can, if you see there's a person here in Zoom, the title is Centonomy. If you have a direct question, just write it to them because it's hard for me to respond directly. If you send me a direct message while I'm speaking, it's hard for me to respond. So just direct message. There's somebody called Centonomy. That's a member of our team. If you direct message them, they'll be able to assist you with all those questions that you have. For everyone else, let's get back to what we're talking about. I wanted to paint the picture for you because a couple of people were not there at the very beginning when we started. Today, our theme is investing for the future that you want. Investing for the future that you want. And it is to be able to clearly see what that was. If you remember what Michael was talking about, having that vision. When you have the vision, you can work backwards and say to yourself, and to be able to say clearly, work backwards and say, what can I do today to get to that dream? And that's exactly what we do in the Centonomy class. We help you with the financial knowledge to get to that dream. And I gave you an example, which I want to take you through just one more time, of a lady called Julie. So Julie comes to Centonomy, and this she's an example of all of us in the room, ladies and gentlemen. And she's saying, I know in my life, I want to build some assets. I want to have some assets, some rental properties. I want government bonds. I want to own a business, assets that are going to give me money. So I want to start building right now. Whether Julie is an employee or she's an entrepreneur, both times you have to be thinking about yourself, what assets are going to be putting money into my pocket? So Julie's already thinking about that. And so she's thinking, I may borrow to start that business. I might be saving and putting aside some cash in certain investment unit trusts. I'm going to be putting it into shares in different businesses. And she's thinking, which one should I use? Which one will get me to my goal? At the same time, Julie's thinking, I have a home, a direction that I want to go. I have somewhere where I want to be, to live, just like Mike did. Mike had that goal of living in Karen, which he's living in right now. And he said, that's one of the things I want to be. And I know Julie is thinking the same way. And she's thinking, how do I get there? How do I get to that space? And she's saying, how do I build? Do I build it myself? Do I take a mortgage like the one I showed you just now? Do I actually break it down and say, what if now I continue to rent? Is there anything wrong with renting as I build other assets? So Julie is thinking, my home, what's that? Just like Mike was saying as well, I have children. Whether it's Mike or it is Julie, I want my kids to go to great universities. I want them to have the education, the life that maybe I didn't have or that I had, and I want them to have a better experience. And so Julie's busy thinking and saying, how do I then plan? And you know, especially in East Africa, everyone in the room, I know in East Africa, we have all these education plans. We have policies that are out there. And you don't know, which one should I take? Or should I be saving myself? Or should I be investing myself? Which one of these is going to get me to my goal? And so Julie is there thinking, okay, how do I choose? But at the same time, Julie is saying, but I only have, I have limited income. My income is, whether it's my business or it is my salary, this is all I have. How do I balance each one of these items to be able to go into those goals? How do I know how much I need to put into this, how much I need to put that? And let me just show you for a second what we mean by this. In the class, module 2, can you see it up there? Module 2 is called time value of money. And I'm sure many of you guys have heard, because Caroline Mutoko, when she came into the Centonomy 101 class, this was the class that changed everything for her. Go and look at her videos about Centonomy. It was the time value class. Why? Because what it does is it helps you to forecast what it will cost. You'll say, today, I want my children to go to Strathmore University. In fact, that's what we were doing with some Ugandan students yesterday. And they were saying, I want them to go to Strathmore University. And they said, If it is Strathmore University today, it costs a certain amount, maybe about 2 million shillings over a 4-year degree. So this lady was saying, like Julie is saying, my children are going to go to university maybe in the next 8 years, maybe in the next 10 years, because they are a certain age. How much will Strathmore cost in 10 years? And then we calculated it and we were able to come up with a number. When we saw that number, then they were able to say, okay, now if I use an education policy, this is the premium I need to be paying so that I can have that fees in the next 10 years, in the next couple of years, even as we go through. Not only that, if that education policy, if the premium is too high, okay, I can't be able to afford that premium. What else can I do to invest to get there? And then we looked and we said, what other options are there? Maybe there are unit trusts. Unit trusts are these group investments that are managed on your behalf, that are regulated, for instance, within the East African region. For those who are outside of East Africa, they're called mutual funds. Mutual funds. Now, if I get into this fund, whether it's an index fund, an equity fund, what are these different funds? So in the class, we're able to help that lady and said, you know what, because this is a growth project that we have, you want to have a fund, an investment fund, that's going to be multiplying your money as much as possible. And so where do you find that kind of growth? Most of the time is through, let's say, for instance, the stock market. So you go through an equity fund, which is invested in the stock market. So she looked now and she said, okay, between an insurance policy and an equity fund, which one works for my plan? Because they're not all the same. It's not everybody that gets the same experience. And so for my plan, just like we were doing for Julie a couple of minutes ago, let me see if I can get her back. For Julie, her plan will be to go through, for instance, an education policy, whereas for Mike, it might be the equity plan. But by the equity fund, but by understanding each one of them, now you make a personal choice on which one you're going to do. But at the same time, as I showed you, Julie's also thinking about, but I have loans. I have a couple of investment loans that I'm working on. I'm trying to see which direction am I going. This is what we want to do. I want her to become one of those people who can understand, oh, how do I pay down this debt faster than I would have before? How do I reduce the interest that I'm going to be paying? And that's what we address in the class, so that you have an actual repayment plan. Now, in the class, we actually give you, as you can see, let me show you the module, that's module 3, where with debt management, we give you a debt repayment plan. We help you to understand which of these debts do I prioritize? Which of these debts do I look at and say, this is the one I'm going to pay first? This one is the one I'm going to pay second. And how do I do it? Where do I find the extra cash to do so? And that's exactly what we're doing for Julie here, where we're going to help her and say, even as you live your life today, you're managing school fees today, your car, you're shopping, you want to go on holiday, there's life that's going on right now. How do you find the balance among it? So those small steps that we have, putting together, for instance, an emergency fund, putting together a plan for your irregular expenses, all these templates, we share them with you so that you can be able to say, you know, that month, like January tends to be a really heavy month for many people because all these payments come at the same time. You're paying school fees, you're paying your insurance premiums, you're buying clothes, you've just come out of December when you had gone on holiday. So January is a really heavy month because of all the irregular expenses. They don't come up every month. How do you manage that? And we give you a template. And all of these templates work together to what we're saying is our 5-year financial plan. Our 5-year financial plan, which was supposed to be able to get us to see what direction am I taking as far as my life is concerned. When you put it together, it gives you clarity. And I'm sure many of you have heard, like even what Flavia is talking about, and we have one more alumni who's coming to share their experience as well. I want you to begin to see that what Centonomy 101 helps you with is to have order in your life and give your life direction as far as your finances based on your goals. What Flavia said was true. What do I want? What Mike said was true. What do I want? And then which are the best investment avenues to get there? One of the issues with investment is that every investment somebody has, they'll give you a solution. If you go to your bank, the bank will tell you, we've got, you know, investment plans, we've got savings accounts, we've got all these different tools, and they'll find the best tool from what they have for you. But what if the best tool for your goal is real estate? The bank can't help you with that. You'd have to go to a real estate agent. And what if, for instance, you wanted some kind of income and you want to learn about government bonds? You can go to a different, like a stockbroker who's going to help you. So which one works for you? You need to be empowered with the knowledge so that when you're engaging experts, you're engaging them based on your plan. And that's what Centonomy 101 does for you. So I'm encouraging you to register right now. We've got a discount today for registration. It's only 500 shillings. You can do that through M-Pesa for everybody who's in Kenya. If you're outside of Kenya, it's $5 US. You can do so through the bank details that are on this side. And once you've registered, once you've sent that money, please go to centonomy.com, and put in your registration details there, and we'll reach out to you. If you register through M-Pesa, we'll have your number and our team will be able to reach out to you directly, and they'll be able to give you all the details on how the classes run, which are starting on the 1st of June. That week of the 1st of June, the class runs once per week. These are all online classes that run once per week for 12 weeks. You come in only once, but the classes are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday on the times that are there. Those are East African times. You pick one of those classes to come for 12 weeks on. And for instance, as I said, if you missed the Tuesday class that you were supposed to come on Tuesday, you're welcome to come Wednesday, Thursday, or Saturday. And if you know, for instance, I'm in the Saturday class, there'll be a wedding, maybe you're like Mike, you want to go for a ride on that Saturday, and so you don't want to miss on the class, you're more than welcome to come in on the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I told you it's a special offer today of only 500 shillings. Usually it's 1,500 shillings. And then the tuition is paid on a monthly basis. You can break it down to monthly installments so that you get this good knowledge in for you. I don't know how many of you feel like Julie. How do I balance all these things? And what we're saying here today is Centonomy 101 will help you with that balance to come up with a plan to achieve your goals. So wonderful. I know I can see we've got one of our alumni who's in the room, I believe. Hi, Vitru, how are you doing? I know you wanted to share your experience. Vitru is an amazing, amazing lady hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
I'm so excited.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm saying I was so excited to see Mike.
Yes. Isn't he amazing? Isn't he such a funny character? When he's on he's on TV, he's too serious.
His kids and my son were in school together. So we used to go, and he's like, I'm going to see, the kids go horse riding and all that. And I was like, Horse riding? Do Black people go horse riding?
And then
right. It really breaks that mindset for me of what we believe Africans should or should not be doing. Yeah. And I was like, why should, these foreigners come here, enjoy the weather in Karen, and then they go horse riding?
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Vitru, I know you've just come through the Centonomy 101 class. One of the amazing things I found out about you is that you run a Facebook group for moms. Tell us a little bit about that group.
Okay, so my Facebook group is called the Pregnant and Nursing Moms Support Group. It started when I basically was sharing my story during pregnancy. So I was able to, first of all, I'm very different when it comes to pregnancies. I go natural. So for me, I go all the way natural. So I have my children at home in my bedroom. My husband delivers, that's kind of all the way natural. So it means you have to do a lot of research. So as you research, I got to share, this is the 3rd week, the 4th week, this is what you should be feeling, expecting. And I started putting that information out there, and people started to respond. So I put a group together. I literally had left that group at, I think, 300 members, and I gave birth. And when I came back, it was around 10,000. it's grown to, I have 420,000 members.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, and it's the amazing thing also is the way we've gotten to conduct the group, where we do not allow negativity. We just spread love and support. It has actually, Facebook became aware of it, so they came on and reached out to me, and they were like, we want to support you as Facebook to know what you're doing. So even Facebook, I have weekly meetings with them just to they want to support. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Facebook knows this little group somewhere of women, and they want to just help you be the best group you can be. So
Vitru, that's not a little group. When you say almost 500,000 people, that's why Facebook reached out to you. Wow.
yes, so I mean, it's amazing because I'll say one of the most amazing things I remember doing is getting this one lady all the way from, God, I can't remember what corner of Kenya that was, getting her to Kijabe, on the way staying at various moms' houses, people you don't know, but they're all in the group, saying, we'll house you for the night, then put you in a taxi to go to the next location. Took her baby all the way to Kijabe Hospital. We were able to pay for the treatment for the baby, got her back home. While she was on the way home, she didn't know that the extra money we had collected, we used to put a house together for her. So she came home to find a new house. It was just wood and mud, you know how they built it there, but it was really amazing for her. Unfortunately, the child didn't make it, but we were able to give her that still. So she had a house when she came back. Now we bought her a cow because she wanted to start producing milk for the community. So she was in and start a business with that. So that was one of the best things for me.
Wow, wow, wow. Vitru, I'm just so amazed at the work that you're doing. And I know that it has meant a lot for so many women. When you talk about nearly 500,000 people in your group and you're touching their lives, that's simply amazing. And you can see the support that's coming through on the chat box. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Charity. And even on YouTube, I can see you there on Facebook. Thank you so much. I didn't get the name that I saw there. There were some comments there that came through where people were just saying, wow, wow, good. So Vitru, I know you've just come through the Centonomy 101 program. I want to ask you, what were the key takeaways for you? Did it have an effect in your life at all?
Oh my God. It felt like the earthly, like they say salvation is spiritual, but this one felt like I can touch it, like it was complete being reborn, like proper born again in my finances, my mindset. Okay, first of all, I have to say, and I keep saying this, I'm a housewife. Okay. So when I was like being told about Centonomy, I was like, for what? I cook, I clean. What am I taking Centonomy for? What does a housewife gain from all this? My gosh. And now I'm like a boss. I don't know where to even start. Well, first of all, I have to say the abundant living part was a big thing for me because I decided in 2019 that let me come at it from a biblical perspective where I can say, if we're here to live abundantly, why aren't I living abundantly? And what does it mean to me? Which is kind of the same thing of what is wealth to you, and I started to make a list for myself of abundant living checklist. A lot of people have a bucket list, but I'm like, no. I know we're all going to die, but have I lived? So I had to make a list, which I'm calling, like a YOLO list. You only live once, So why not have a list of things you want to do? I wanted to bring it here. You see all this. This is just a notebook. And I started by writing 300 things that I want. And by the time you get to 30 something, you start running out of things, but if you don't know what you want, what are you aiming for? Even as a housewife, if I say I want to go to Paris for my anniversary with my husband, if I don't say it, if I don't put it down, if I don't actually think about it, how do I make it come to pass? So I had to write down what I want. And one of the things for me, I know it says that I'm a content creator, I'm an author, and I'm a counselor. That's true, but that is actually my, can I call it my side hustle?
Yeah, you can.
But my primary goal is not to offend any feminists out there, but my primary goal is to be the best wife and mother I can truly be. You know, for me, family comes first, right? But to give my children the best education, the best holidays, the best home to live in, we need to get money or whatever it is. So Centonomy helped me to come down to the point of, all right, you're a great mom, that's fantastic. You're an amazing wife, you make great cupcakes, great. But what else do you have that can give your family the life you dream of? So I have skills, I write. So I have a book that's just been sitting there, but I wasn't selling it. So coming there gave me that reason of, if you want to send your family on holiday, sell the book, woman, move. If you want to get extra money because your kids are going to go to college, you have counseling skills. Why aren't you starting your practice? You know? So I actually talked to my mom 2 days ago, and she's a counseling psychologist. And I told her I do want to start my practice. She said, you need a supervisor. I know you have the skills. I'll be your supervisor. Start now. And I was like, wow, okay. So she's like, you'll charge 2,500 a session for an hour. And if I'm doing just 3 people in a week, that's okay. That's more money than I had before. Plus, I'm doing it in my house. Thank God for Zoom now. And I'm doing it while the kids are at school. So I drop the kids in school. I come home, I have breakfast with my husband, go in for an hour, counsel somebody, come back out, relax, go pick the kids, take them to all their little activities. I'm not skipping a beat. I'm just now charging an hour to talk to somebody. And that's what I do. So Centonomy,
this was a gift you had, isn't it?
Yes.
It was something
Yes.
you were trained in. It was something that you had never thought you could use, and now you're using it for the growth we're talking about. What you're about to say something about Centonomy? Wow.
So the thing that was amazing for me with Centonomy is you have homework. Oh God, I used to hate school and homework, but this made more sense to me because I hated finding X. But in this case, finding X is how X is your dream. So how do you accomplish X? And I was like, this makes more sense to me. So each week I would like sit there with my husband and like, yo, we need to have X. So sit down, you know. Before I get even further, the other thing is with housewives, we tend to leave finances and everything to our husbands. You know, shock on you when one day something happens and you have no idea where everything is. And then family comes and takes this and that and the other. We hear these stories. And it was one of my fears. So I said, look, I need to know where all our money is and what's happening with the money. So I thank God again for Centonomy because it was able to tell us, okay, bring all your money together, break it out into things you definitely know you need, you know, and also track what you're spending money on. And every day I'm just like, why is that still in my house? Why am I still paying for that? You know, get rid of that. You know, today my kids were sitting and they wanted to watch Netflix and I was insisting they watch DSTV because I'm paying for it. And then my son is like, why are you paying for it? We don't want it. Then my husband is like, you know, you only have to pay like $1,000 for Netflix. Why don't we just stop DSTV altogether, take that money and you go invest it in that account of yours? And I was just like, yeah, let's call them up right now, you know? So small things around the house, very small things. I know this one might seem a bit personal, but I'll go into it because it's something I witnessed. As women, we know every month we're going to have our cycle, right? But then there are people we literally would wait until that day to go shopping. And then those pads have their taxes and so many other things. And I'm like, why don't we just calculate how much we're going to spend in a year, go wholesale, buy a box, put it somewhere, and go ahead and do that. Or in my case, what I did is research what they're calling menstrual cups now that last you 5 years. So I'm not spending any money at all for the next 5 years. And you buy this cup for maybe 1,500, that's going to last you 5 years. So people are like, wait, you don't get pads, you don't get this, you don't get that. I said, no, I forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. And I've spent it for a year. I mean, I've used it for a year. And there are certain things I enjoy in my life, like deep sea diving and swimming and whatnot. I do, it doesn't stop my life, as opposed to when I was using like certain things. So again, thank you guys for that. You know, just learning how not to waste money and spend money only on what you want, so that you're getting the quality life you have without those regrets. No zile regrets when you buy those ridiculously annoying toys that are made in China and you think because they're cheaper, they're better. You know, it's cheap. In toy at 200, I'm like, it's going to last you 200 minutes, literally, because it breaks. You didn't go for the most expensive one that's made of solid, you know, materials made sturdy that will, you know, when we used to pass toys to your nephew because you've outgrown them. What happened to that? Now we buy these little silly China things. So you're buying a China thing for 200 bob, 200 bob. Every week it's 200 because that thing doesn't last more than 3 days. For 12 months, it may seem ridiculous. It may seem so small, but when you start doing calculations for how much it costs over time, I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And I don't know, I can't thank Centonomy enough. I really cannot. I really can't. And you get to learn that time is valuable and that you have things in you that can make you money without you having to go so far. To start where you are. Like Flavia, was that her name?
Yes, Flavia.
Yeah, start where you are. If it's 200 shillings, start there. You know, if like I say at home, you bought a cooker that you use in the morning, in the evening. During the day, it has an oven. Maybe you're good at baking, but you don't use it. And then you wonder, where am I going to get money for this and that from? Start baking something, selling. Start there. Your unga for, is it 200 sugar, this, you bake a certain amount, you market it online or to your neighbors, to your schools as school snacks, you know. We don't, like as mothers, we don't want to think about what are your kids going to carry for break. Maybe you could solve that problem for somebody by using the oven in your house. You know, there's so many opportunities, but we do not think about them because nothing triggers us to think about it. But Centonomy will guide your thoughts, you know.
Wow.
It guides your thoughts and gives you a target. If you don't have a target, you're just shooting at the air, wasting your energy. But it tells you, this is what you want. Think about this, break it down to this, break it down to that. But without that, and if you're alone out there in life, you're so overwhelmed by the thoughts of how.
Yeah.
You know, you want to lose the weight, but how? So it's that's how it worked for me. I want to do this. And then Centonomy came and closed the gap between me and my ex, you know, my dream, by showing me all the hows. And in the 12 weeks, honestly, Waithaka, what have we accomplished? Me and my husband, we've just been like crazy people, you know. Yeah. We have set up our emergency fund. You'll get to understand that more in the class. But we've set up an emergency fund. We've set up our irregular expenses fund. Then we decided that if holiday is important, then set it up as well. Those ones we put in the money market. So it's still earning money even as we just put in whatever we can. And then we go around and look at things differently. Like my husband was like, why don't we just drive to Pingo Ridge, you know? We know the kind of people who live out there.
Yeah.
And we just said, okay, can we just come and look at the houses? And we talked to some of the architects and hearing numbers. And you're like, wow, before Centonomy, a number like what they were saying, you know, like 65 million for a house would have floored me. But now I'm like, oh, okay, so how do I work that backwards?
Yeah.
Starting with my 200 shillings and my oven, how do I get that house? And it doesn't seem impossible because the people who live there are just like you, 2 hands, 2 legs. What is it that they do different?
Yeah. And that's the thing, Vitru, I just want to say thank you so much for being so honest. You should see the comments that are coming through there at the bottom. Everyone is so grateful for your honesty. When you were speaking, I kind of felt that illustration, don't disappear. The illustration that we were talking about of Julie, I can put you there now and just say, this is Vitru is trying to think through all these various things that are going on in life. You're trying to figure out where's the money going, where is it coming from, how are we building the assets that we want, but how are we also living the life that we want today? How do we manage our debt? And when you can see all those things clearly and it becomes a system, it becomes a plan, and that's what I'm hearing what you're talking about, then it removes the stress, it removes the fear of what's coming up along the way. So I'm so grateful. We're out of time. Our guest Ibrahim has also joined us. I just wanted to mention, sorry, it was a struggle to get you onto the session, Ibrahim. Vitru, thank you so much. Please respond to the guys there on the chat box if you can. I would love to hear a little bit more from you.
Join the class, guys. Join the class. You won't regret it. Join. Leave the pizzas alone. Join the class. You won't regret it. Hi. Right, bye, guys.
Thank you so much, Vitru. Thank you. Ibrahim, you have literally 5 minutes to share your main points, because we have kept people. And so I want you to take that moment just to share your main points in 5 minutes. We're so glad that you made it. It was tough getting on, but I know you can do it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Ideally, I've been listening in, and there are a couple of things that I've learned over time. I've been employed. I'm the general manager MTN business. I've been employed for the most part of my life. I've worked in the banking industry. And I think during that time, I've been an employee of the year for more than 13 years. I was in the banking industry for over 17 years. Now I've moved into the telecom industry, and I've learned a couple of things in life. One of the things that are very critical for us and for everyone to know, that you are the chief vision officer for your life. What you set out, what you want your life to become, it will definitely become. Start by setting your goals. So because with goals, we create and shape our lives and ultimately our destiny, we eventually get there. So the difference between the goal and the results that we achieve in life is basically the discipline. Most of us are not very disciplined. But once you get that discipline to say, I want to do something, and you go out and do it, believe me, you will become whatever you want to become. Set that goal, come up with a strategy. I think it was Kasparov who wrote that life imitates chess as a game of strategy. Life imitates chess as a game of strategy. So you need to have strategy for your life. And because I have very few minutes, I'll give my thoughts about one important thing. As we invest for the future, I think like the theme of this meeting is, we need to invest in much more, or we need to invest in much more than money. We need to look at the wheel of life. Look at your physical, invest in your family, invest in your home, invest in your career, invest in your spirituality. That is very important. Invest in your physical and health. It won't make sense if you save a lot of money and you can't live to see that. I think last week I buried one of my great friends who was the president of SCCA here in Uganda, and it was so sad. Very good lady, a lot of potential in her life, but it can happen to any of us. So invest in your physical health. Put in there. Then personal growth, read a lot. I read over 100 books every year. Over 100 books every year. I invest in my brain. I want to get better and better and better. So please invest in the relationships. You need somebody who will say a good word about you, who will give you a referral. That is very important. Invest in the right attitude. Right attitude towards money, towards the discipline. There are a couple of things that were being discussed. I think those are principles of life that we all have to look at. Real estate.
Oh, Ibrahim, you're on mute. Just unmute yourself. There you go.
That are sold out there, they are sold at sell value, not market value. So you buy something at a low price and sell it at a high price. That is very important. Then physical environment, please do invest in that. And then lastly, your leisure. So guys, please, 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 as much as possible, invest and invest and invest. Thank you very much. Hello? Thank you very much. Briefly, that is what I would say because of the interest of time. Probably next time I'll have a longer period to talk to all of you. But please, please focus on that one thing, 2, 3, 4 that you want to achieve. If you want to become a millionaire, set a goal. You will achieve it without doubt. And set that vision, that dream that is so uncomfortable for you to even think about. Set that dream, achieve it, focus, be disciplined, and achieve that thing. So
I mean, Ibrahim.
So
I wish I could give you more time because the insights are amazing. You should see the comments that are coming through. This is Elizabeth Karanja on Facebook. Elizabeth is just saying, absolutely. She had no other words, just absolutely. Saying, this is right. Ibrahim, I mean, straight to the point. Bernard is saying that. Priscilla, thank you. Someone here was, I think it was Caroli, who was like, did you just say over 100 books in a year? How in the world do you do that, Ibrahim?
I invest a lot of my salary on books. So I read a lot. And by the way, what you practice is what you get good at. If you practice laziness, you'll become extremely good at laziness. If you practice success, you will. The principles are there. Success leaves clues. It does. So I'm not where I am by mistake, and you can get there. Everyone can be. Everyone. I started out a couple of years as a tailor, and I've grown over the years. Financially, physically, spiritually. Every weekend I walk over 20 kilometers. So you can all be disciplined what you need to do. It's that stretch, that extra mile for you to achieve. Thank you very much, Tim.
My brother, thank you so much, Ibrahim Senyonga. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Thank you for sharing your life insights. You should see the comments that are coming through. Everyone in the room, can we give him a hand? Can we just type in what we thought? I know on chat, on Facebook, thank you so much. Elizabeth, thank you so much. Vero, Sila, thank you. What is this? This is now on YouTube. Everyone who's there, we're so grateful. Ibrahim, you have really helped us. Guys, what we're trying to do through the Centonomy 101 program is to bring that discipline into your financial plan. That discipline is going to make the difference in your financial plan when you're able to break it down and you're able to say, hey, look at this. This is how we're going to achieve those goals. You had Vitru saying, I have this multiple goals, I have this one, I have this one, I have this one. How do you find that balance? How do you achieve that goal? That's what Centonomy 101 is going to do for you. Remember, classes start on the first week of June. This is the time for you. I know many of us have felt stuck by this COVID-19. Do I move forward? Do I not? We can't be stuck. We have to be moving forward. The opportunities are here now. This is the right time to do it. You're even getting the class at a discount. So please register. After this, I'll stay back just to answer as many questions as possible. I can see many questions coming through. So I would just want to end so that those who need to leave can leave. But for now, the class starts the first week of June. Remember, all the classes are online, so you can log in from everywhere in the world. We've had students all the way from Australia to Japan to mainland Asia. We've had North Africa, South Africa, Europe. We've had North America. I think the only place we're yet to get to is South America, and it's a language issue. We're going to solve that out. So wherever you are in the world, you can be able to find the time to come in here. The classes are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You pick, or Saturday, and you pick only one class per week. It gives you the freedom so that in case you miss that one day, you can come in on any of the other days. We want that flexibility for our busy lives. Registration is only 500 shillings today in Kenya shillings, and then you can pay the fee in installments. If you're outside of Kenya, you can pay $5 to the bank account that's there. And once you've done so, just put in your registration details on centonomy.com. Go to centonomy.com and put in your registration details. Alternatively, you can also simply email Maureen. If you're outside of Kenya, you've made the $5 payment. Just email Maureen at centonomy.com. You can see her details there. She will be able to assist you, and she'll be able to give you all the details of how we'll get you the materials. We'll get you all the details for the class and how you can get in. Things like that loan calculator, which I showed you earlier on, we give it to you so that you're able to now calculate your loans and to work on it. This is going to bring financial freedom to your life. I want you to register right now. And can we give a big hand to everybody who came and spoke? Thank you so much, Flavia. Thank you so much, Mike. I want to say thank you so much to Vitru who spoke. I also want to say thank you so much to Ibrahim, also, or everyone who gave their time to be here, and to you for listening and watching over the last 2 hours. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for your time. Please share this video. I know many people have been asking, I came in a bit late. I missed the beginning. How can I get there? Immediately after this, go to the Centonomy YouTube channel, Centonomy on YouTube, or Centonomy on Facebook. This video will be available from beginning to end. You can go back, take notes, find out what we discussed earlier. It will be just amazing. Look at that. Thank you so much, everyone, for your kind comments in the chat box. Christine Wax, thank you so much. We're so grateful for that. That's on YouTube. Camo Clemens, thank you so much. We're so grateful for that. Veronica and Jerry, thank you so much. And everybody here on Zoom, we're really grateful. So what we're going to do right now is, if you have a question or a comment, please type it in the chat box, and I'll be able to pick it up and just try and see if we can answer as many questions as possible before we go off. Right now, for everybody, this is the time to make that registration. The class is coming up very shortly. This is the benefit you're going to get, and you get a certificate at the end of the program, which you'll be able to keep and show what it is. This is really, really great. Oh, you guys are so kind. You're so kind. Thank you for the kind comments that are coming through. Make sure you get this benefit. Share it with your friends, with your relatives, everybody who's been, you think can benefit from this. Share it, send it out there, and that will be really great. Just hold on one second. Now I'm seeing the questions coming through. Do we have classes for young adults in their early 20s? Yes, we do. We have what is called Centonomy Campus Edition. If you go to the Centonomy website, just click on centonomy.com, centonomy.com, and we have a list of all the programs that we run. We have Centonomy Campus Edition, which is for students age 18 to 24. That's usually your campus ages. We can be able to assist you with that. We've got classes for teenagers. We've got the Centonomy Teens Bootcamp, which runs during the school holidays. So we have it for you. Thank you so much, Salome, for that question. Woo! Excellent. If you have another question, please type it in the chat box. I'll be able to respond to that. Oh, you guys are so kind. Wow, wow, wow. Guys are getting something out of this session. Thank you. If you have any other question around the program and the products that we have at Centonomy, please do ask. In case I've missed a question to my team, just highlight it to me, and I'll be able to assist as we go. Woo! Well done, Lydia, for your first time here at Centonomy, and you're saying it was worth your time. Excellent, excellent. You can imagine what the classes are like. If this is just a Saturday open day session, wait till you come for the classes. It's going to be amazing. I want to see you guys in class. So Ivy is asking about personal financial advisors. Yes, so what happens is when you come into the class, you have access to all the trainers, Ivy. Ivy, you have access to all the trainers. Let's say you come through the personal financial management class, let's say one that I take. After the class, you can reach out to me. This area is something of interest to me, and I'll be able to respond to you. If you're interested, for instance, in the shares class, and we have the stockbroker who's going to respond to you and say, hey, after class, I was thinking about shares. Can you give me some advice? You have access to all the trainers afterwards, Ivy, once you're in the class. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Lillian. I really appreciate those comments. I'm trying to see if there are any comments on Facebook and YouTube or questions that I can respond to. Wow, Bridget, thank you so much. Prince, thank you so much. Romeo, thank you so much. Woo! Yeah, that balance. Pauline, that's right. What Julie is trying to achieve, you know, and I know so many of us are trying to achieve the same thing. And we just don't know how to find that balance. Thank you so much for saying that, Pauline, about that. Pauline was talking about the illustration we gave about Julie and trying to figure out where do we go? You know, how do we get to the places that we want to be? And you find that, for instance, Julie is thinking, where am I building my assets? How do I get that home? How do I build the education plan? How do I work my current income and increase my income? How do I manage my debt? How do I live life today? That's what Centonomy 101 will do for you, as it did for Vitru, as it did for Flavia, as it did for me, and so many others. You can ask all the people who are there. Yes, at the moment, the classes are only held online right now. That's Natalie on YouTube. Yes, we're only online at the moment simply because of the COVID restrictions. Right now, having many people in a room is quite difficult, but they're very effective. Just go and see all the testimonials on our YouTube channel. I can see you there, Natalie. You'll see that the classes work, even on YouTube. God willing, when we're able to, we'll open up again and start doing them physically, but we are committed to the online classes as we go forward. Thank you. Wow, thanks, Grace, Cynthia. Lucy, thank you. Lucy, you can afford the classes. You're saying I can't afford. If you come in the first class, and we'll be doing a trial class, so you can find out about the trial classes very soon. We'll be doing a trial class. In that first class, you'll find where that money is. It's in your pocket. So Lucy, I want to see you there. Guys, I'm just checking out on Facebook if there are any questions or comments that have come through. Otherwise, we are done here. I want everyone in the room, make sure you've done that registration today. Register, and it'll be able to help you. If you're outside of Kenya, please make that payment and then put your registration details at centonomy.com or email Maureen at centonomy.com, and she'll help you out with that whole registration process. It's going to make a big difference for you. Blessing is asking if there are any physical classes. At the moment, it's difficult to run physical classes due to the COVID restrictions. Having many people in a room is limiting. And because we have, we go into the market for all the best trainers who are out there, industry experts, you want to maximize their time, which is why we're doing it with the groups that are online. Thank you so much for that question, Blessing. But we are praying for a return to our physical classes. We've missed them. We miss seeing you guys live. But for now, we are online at the moment. Excellent, guys. Do make that registration, and we'll be able to reach out to you ASAP. Lillian, Jage, you are talking about all the different things that you want to do at a time. Yeah, that's why Centonomy 101 is so powerful, because it helps you to see how do I, all these things that I'm trying to do at the same time, how do I make them holistic and achieve them? Wow. Hey, Aureen, I hope I said that correct. Niwarinda is saying something, okay. How I can get on board since I have no job, struggling even with my basics. you can do it. When you start managing your finances and seeing where your cash goes, because many people don't know where their cash is going, when you see it, it begins to unlock. So have a word with Maureen at centonomy.com. We'll be able to help you, Maureen, on that. Wow. Oh, thank you so much. Elishama Okungu, thank you so much. See you in class. Yes, see you in class. Yes, Benson, you can come in and we'll help you with that as we go forward. Great, guys. I don't see any more questions. The class, as I said, starts on the 1st of June. So this is the day to register right now so that you get that discount of 1,000 shillings off your registration. It's about $10 you're getting off your registration fee. And you can be able to do that. Ivy, there are many apps. All the apps that I've found online, they work. The issue that I found, the apps for tracking your expenses, Ivy, it's the one that works for you. So I tried about 2 or 3. I tried to see how their functionality is, and I landed on one that could work for me. So thank you so much, Ivy. Test a couple of them. There's some on the App Store and the Play Store, and then you can see. Yes, Martha, the discount is for today, just for the registration. What we want to do is get you registered. So make that payment today, Martha, and you'll be able to achieve, and then we'll help you with the payment plan for the class as we can go. Yes, Emmanuel, register today. And then once Maureen reaches out to you or any of the other team at Centonomy, Emmanuel, we'll be able to work out that payment plan for you. Yes. So make that registration today as we go. So this will be the second season that we're running this year, starting in June. And then we'll have our final season for 2021 starting in September. So you have many options as far as how we're going to be able to join into the class. So, but take advantage of the discount on registration today. It's going to make a huge difference for your life as you go forward. So I want to put up the details once more on the screen. So you can make that registration. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that question. Audrey, thank you. This has been recorded. You can go straight to our YouTube channel after this. In fact, it's live right now, so you can even go there, Audrey. It's live on our Facebook channel, and it'll be available both on Facebook and YouTube, this entire session. You can go back and watch it and see what went on. Wow, thank you, Audrey. Oh, thank you, guys. Amazing, amazing. Yes, Beatrice. Everyone can now join. I told you we've had people. That's Beatrice Gideon on YouTube. She's saying now people who are abroad can join. In fact, the diaspora members are so many nowadays. So we have to work. That's why you can see me talking in Kenya shillings, in dollars, in Ugandan shillings. Because these principles work in whatever currency you're in, whichever time zone you're in, get involved. Thank you, Beatrice Gideon. Yes, so register and the details are on the screen there, and we'll be able to reach out to you immediately. Wow, guys, I can see we've done it. We've managed it. Well done. Well done. Yes, Emmanuel, thank you so much for that question. Yes, Victoria was supposed to be here. She got called out on assignment this morning. She was working so hard. You should see all the emails and texts that we have between each other. She was saying, Waithaka, can I come in for a few seconds? Victoria was supposed to be here, but she was unable to make it. The nature of her job is she was sent out on assignment. She couldn't be able to be here, but I know we'll get her back for another session. Thanks for that question, Emmanuel. Yes, I'm also sad about that. Wow, 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 guys. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. See you in class on the 1st of June. We'll get started there. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.